We're doing a review of Stagg Batch 24B. Hi, I'm Taryn.
Hi, I'm Jonathan, and welcome to Whiskey Break.
And yes, we are reviewing Stagg Batch 24B today. We're super excited. If you guys didn't see our last bourbon haul, we were actually fortunate enough to get this bottle at our local Stater Brothers for $65 MSRP. Super amazing find, and we're so glad to be tasting it.
Yeah, if you don't know us, we are huge fans of the Buffalo Trace profile, and we have loved some Stagg batches in the past. So this should be the last Stagg release of 2024. So let's see if 24B kind of sneaks right in there, cracks our top bottles of the year, and I think let's just get right into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's start off with giving it a nose.
Yes. Overall, not as fruity as I expected.
Yeah. When you go into like a Stagg or Eagle Rare, things like that, I kind of expect a certain type of cherry or red fruit to jump out. I'm not quite getting that.
I am getting that very standard cherry cola that a lot of people get on Staggs. I think in particular, the cola is very strong today for me. It does actually really smell carbonated, which is kind of an interesting thing for me. I don't think on the couple of Stagg batches that we've had, I've had the opportunity for that note. So it is kind of cool.
Yeah, I think saying cherry cola actually makes a ton of sense for me because honestly, going into it at first, I wasn't getting a lot of cherry at all. And then once you start to, look for that cola note, that's where it kind of lays. It's not, again, it doesn't jump right out. It's not a crazy red fruit.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit more spice backing it up.
Yeah, and kind of when I go to the bottom of the glass here, I'm getting a little bit of vanilla, so almost that like cherry vanilla Coke vibe, which is actually a drink that I actually like quite a lot. So this does smell very good, and I'm interested in taking a sip.
Yeah, like made on a freestyle machine.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I am getting a little bit more ethanol on the nose than I would like, but I'm curious to see how that works out once we take a sip. So
definitely. What is this proof again?
This is 127.8. Okay. So
wouldn't call it low a little proof. Spicy.
Yeah, wouldn't call it low proof, but not high proof in terms of Stagg.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, that makes sense. You want to give it a taste?
Let's do it.
If you're liking this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. Let's get back into it. It's definitely hot, I would say.
Yeah, it drinks all of that proof. I would argue it drinks a little above its proof.
Agreed. It's not a throat burner, I would say. I think it does pretty much stay within the front of my mouth. So it is a little bit more, I don't know, pleasurable is a bad word, but like it is a little bit more pleasant than maybe something that would burn my throat.
Yeah, it also has this kind of weird effect where I would say it's a little bit drying, a little bit oaky, but it's drying and then the finish leaves you with a nice finish, a nice note. Whereas I feel like some of those really old whiskeys will be drying and then you just are like needing to grab water. And so that's the drying I prefer.
Yeah.
But it's maybe not my favorite notes from a Stagg.
Yeah. When I initially swallowed, I did get kind of this little tiny bit of root beer. Yeah. So kind of staying within that soda theme. I did get a little bit of that root beer, maybe a little bit of anise. But then it kind of goes straight to all oaky. Yeah. So it's not a very fruity Stagg, I would say, which is a little bit disappointing because we are big fruit people and we love, the fruity notes that we get with a lot of Buffalo Trace products. And yeah, I would say this is very much on the oaky profile. Yeah,
this is definitely an oakier Stagg. I think those cherry and fruit notes are still there, but like Tan said, they're behind those root beer, cola notes, those oak notes. That's kind of where it lays. So I think you made a good point there where it is maybe disappointing for us because when we want a Stagg and, in the times where we've paid up for one in the past, it's because we want it to be Buffalo Trace turned up to 11.
Yes.
We don't necessarily want a well-rounded bourbon or like something you can find in other profiles. And I think there's nothing wrong with it. And for what we paid, fantastic.
Yes, absolutely.
But it's not that crazy Buffalo Traceness.
Yes, I completely agree with you. Yeah, I think there's kind of a little bit more rye spice than I expected. It is, I kind of expected, the oakiness and cherry of some kind. But yeah, it's definitely more rye spice, maybe even a little bit of baking spices, especially on the finish.
Yeah.
On the finish, I'm getting a lot of those baking spices, a little bit of that, like I said, the anise, kind of like root flavors, kind of like the root beer, like I mentioned.
Yeah, a lot of those dark notes. I will say, even after a couple sips now, the finish is probably my favorite part. The taste is good. I think the nose is lacking quite a bit for me. Even going back, I'm still not getting anything crazy. It's a lot of ethanol, a little bit of that cherry cola still. But yeah, it's just good. It's very warming.
Yes. I think this might be something that we reach for, during the Christmas winter season, just because it is so, like you said, warming. It is something that I know will keep me warm in the winter. And this is probably a good bottle to kind of introduce people to the oakier side of Buffalo Trace. So I don't think this is by any means a bad bottle, but like we said earlier, I think we would lean toward a 22A, which is a lot more of that fruity profile.
Yeah. Let's get into our final thoughts and just our overall review. So we discussed it off camera a little bit, gathered our thoughts.
Yep.
And at the $65 that we paid, we are really impressed with it.
Yes.
But the most we'd pay is $100 for this particular batch.
Yeah, I completely agree. We may have come off a little bit disappointed, but I think by no means is this a bad bottle. This is an absolutely delicious bottle. And maybe if you were looking for, a more traditional Stagg with those cherry cola notes and that oaky profile, this might be a great bottle for you to spend a little up on that. So I would say even within that $100 to $150 range, if you're really looking for something that is an absolute Stagg.
Yes. Yeah, I'd say for us and our profile, we want a little bit more red fruit. So this probably isn't going to crack our top 5 of the year. But again, really glad that we got it. Glad we got to try it and review it for you guys.
That rounds out our review of Stagg Batch 24B. Super excited to have gotten this bottle. And thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. We, posted this on a Thursday, so this is super fun. We love doing these review videos, and hopefully more to come soon. All right, bye.